Hi, welcome to Survival Skills. So today we're going to talk about spiders. We just built a mob farm that's giving us really good output, and we want to filter it so that we can take the spiders out. We also want to filter out all the other mobs so that we can turn it into a gunpowder farm. So I was looking at the filtering configuration that we're going to use, and I'll get to that in a minute. It's over there on one of the pads. And I had some questions about why it's set up the way it's set up, and I couldn't find really good answers, so I did some testing, and I just thought this would be a decent video because I had a hard time finding good information on this. So I set up this test pad here, and the first thing that I learned was that the spawning has nothing to do with where the spider puts its feet. The spiders can spawn on a single block. It just needs a single block under its body. It doesn't matter where it puts its feet. What is important is what's around the spider. So let me break that out. So if we look around this spawning area right here, this grass block, that's what we're interested in, is what's around that grass block at the level of the spider's body, and then also what's directly over the spider's head. This all has to be air. If it's not air, the spider's not going to spawn. So that's the short version of it, and that's based on my testing. You can do your own testing, but I'm pretty sure that that's the case. So it has to be air all the way around the spider, and it has to be air over the spider's head, directly over the spider's head. You can go up like this, too, over the spider's head. That won't block spawning. But this has to be air right here. So that's the spawning conditions that you need to spawn a spider. A single block for the body, air all the way around it, and air directly over it. So here's one way to filter spiders. By the way, if any of those conditions is not met, the spawn will fail. So you only need to block one of those places and the spawn will fail. So here you just block it by putting a block over the spawning area. That will stop the spider from spawning right there. You can't use a slab. For some reason slabs don't work. So use glass. Use a block of glass. Now you can also block the stop spawning, by putting a block next to the spawning block. So on any of these blocks here, you can place a block, and that makes it so that, for example, on this block right here, it's not air anymore. So the spider will not be able to spawn because that's not an air block, not a full air block. So I'm just using a slab here. This could be a block of glass. So any or all of those spaces around the spawning pad will stop the spider from spawning. This one is diagonal to the spawning pad. Here I was testing with the slab being right next to the spawning pads on either side. And then here I'm doing glass. Glass on either side. And then glass on the diagonal. So all of those are going to block the spawning attempts. And then here I wanted to know about over the spider's head. So I think I saw in a forum where somebody said that you need to have air in a 3x3 block over the spider's head. I don't think that's correct. I think you just need air directly over the spider's head. I filled all this in with glass, and then I have space all the way around that block right there. And I got spider spawns. So I'm pretty sure if this space over that block is open, the spider is going to spawn. So that's a little bit about the mechanics. We'll just take a quick run up here and take a quick look at this, and then we're going to go right over and take a look at the spawning pad over there, because that's what we are going to be working with to make the mob farm that we just built. We're going to turn it into a gunpowder farm. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of the spiders. I'll put a link to that mob farm video in the upper right hand corner of this video. So go take a look at that if you want to. And let's clear the weather. Let's do a time set night. And let's set the difficulty. Okay, and we're just going to hang out here for just a second because I think the main attraction here is going to be that spawning pad over there. So what we expect is that we'll see some spawning, like right there. We see that we got a spider down there. Hope you can see that. And we don't see anything in the middle. Nothing should be spawning in the middle. We might have some endermen and other mobs, but not spiders. And then under these slabs right here, like I said, they're going to allow spiders to spawn. And then if we hung out a little bit longer, we'd see some spawning on the far right here because I left that wide open. But nothing in the middle, nothing but other mobs, not spiders. So that's what I found from testing about how spiders spawn and how to block it. So then I wanted to apply that to our farm. I already have seen this pattern. I got this pattern from Nembon from his mob farm tutorial. So this is not my idea. I got this actually from his world download and have used it successfully more than once. I just never really fully understood why it works. So take a snapshot of that because that's how you're going to do your pads if you built this farm. And then just very briefly, how it works. So this piece of glass right here is going to be blocking the spawning on all these adjacent pads. No spider is going to be able to spawn on any of those pads because that glass is in the way. And nothing's going to be able to spawn on the pad that the glass is sitting on top of. This piece of glass is doing the same thing. If you look all the way around it, it's blocking spawning attempts on all the pads around it. Not because it's blocking the spider's feet, but because it's not an air block. Then it's very efficient because this glass is only needed to do those. The only thing needed for those pads, this glass is the only thing needed for those pads. So we're using the least amount of glass that we can because we don't want to block spawning of other mobs any more than we have to in order to filter out the spiders. And if you look at all these other pieces of glass that are sitting on the pad, they're all doing the same thing. So now around the edges, it might not be as obvious until we just briefly discuss it. Then I think it'll be obvious to you. If we make this a spawnable block, like a slab, there are air blocks all the way around it. It doesn't matter that there's a hole in the floor because, like I said, it doesn't matter where the spider's feet go. There's air all around it, and there's air above it. When we build the farm, we're going to stack these pads, and the next pad is going to be up here. Next pad is going to be 2 blocks above that pad. So it's not going to be in the way. It's not going to block spider spawning. So this can't be a slab. We have to break this out and replace it with glass. This is the same way, by the same reasoning. And then this one is the same and by the same reasoning. So that's why Nembon, I believe, why Nembon's team chose this particular pattern to place the glass. You know, if you want to know for absolute sure all the details, maybe you could drop them online and maybe they'll answer you. But that's what I think. So let's talk about how to lay this out because some of you are going to want to do this. And I just want to give you a quick walkthrough because once you get this pattern down, I mean, you'll have to actually do it to really remember it. But once you do one pad, they're pretty easy. I was going to say they go quick, but that's not the right thing to say because I think you need to take your time and make sure you get this right so you don't have to climb back in your farm and do it again. So you come out from the middle here. This is the middle coming out from the dispenser. After you built this pad, this would be a slab right here. You need to break that out, replace it with glass. This slab right here, you would break the one that was here out, put glass in there, and then you just go out and you do that all the way around the farm. Break out the slab, put in glass, break out the slab, put in glass. And the same here. Oops, wrong place, right? From the middle, there, and there. Clear the weather. And then you need to do the next ring. So the next ring is pretty easy. You go to the center here, you come in 1, 2, and over 1. So you start on the first slab here, 1, 2, and over to the right. And then you can just stay here and you can do this one. From this one you come in 1, 2, go to the left. So you just do that all the way around. 1, 2 right, 1, 2 left. Right, left, right, oops, and left. And then the next ring is super easy. You just go off of this one right here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. 3. And then you've got one edge left. So if you stand right here and you look at the tip, you got a piece of glass right there. And then you look at this edge right here, got a piece of glass right there. So right in between those, you're going to have a slab that you're going to break out. And you're going to put glass there. And you go around and you just do this all the way around the farm and you're going to be done. So, you know, keep your head tuned while you're doing this. It's tempting to get in a hurry once you get used to the pattern. I know I just want to just blast through it, but I always go back and make sure I did everything right because I don't want to have to come back into a working mob farm to fix things. So that's the pattern. So what we're going to do in the next video is we're going to talk about how to actually get down into your farm and do this. If you did it while you were building the farm, you know, that's great. But a lot of times I like to build the farm and then we're going to take a quick look and watch it in action here. I'm going to do a time set night. It's already, well, let's just do it anyway. Time set night, and then difficulty hard. So you're going to need to get into your farm and do it. And I like a lot of times to build my farm and then make sure that it's working, and then go in and do the protection, do the filtering, I mean, for the spiders, and do the filtering for the creepers. So we're just going to watch the pad, and what we should see is that we're going to get too high mobs like witches, zombies, skeletons, and creepers, but we're not going to get the spiders. So in the next video, we'll actually show how to put this stuff in place in the farm, in the working farm, how to get down in there and do this and get back out safely. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click the like button if you did. Leave your questions and comments below. Please click the subscribe button and the notification bell if you don't want to miss future videos. And I'll put some cards in the upper right hand corner of the screen that link to the series, the survival skill series and the survival mob farm series, so you can go look at all the videos. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.